intense chemo for leukemia, you may be told to avoid fermented foods. The cool thing that I learned from my colleagues is that they are allowing shelf-stable kimchi, so they can have shelf-stable kimchi or miso, because that pasteurization has killed off most of the living microorganisms in there. And when I say that, I hear the people in my head saying, well, didn't you just kill off what the benefit of that product is? And what I found, and I have to stop saying the cool thing because I think I said it 5 times already.
6 times.
6 times. The interesting note or finding I found in the literature is that there can still be some benefit. There's a new term called postbiotics. So postbiotics can be a result of the living microorganisms that have now been killed but are still present in some way. And there's research in that it may in itself support the immune function. So it doesn't mean that food, you have to consider it not being nutritious or helpful at all. There's a lot of benefit to still having that type of food. But today we are using...
This is a refrigerated kimchi.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to start off with the first part of this salad recipe. This is a more complex salad recipe, which is going to be our dressing / marinade. Okay, we're going to sort of knock 2 things out at once here. So I'm adding a generous amount of garlic and ginger. You can add as much or as little as you want. I've got a few cloves of garlic, maybe 2 big chunks of ginger. I use my favorite little rasp tool to just mince it so that it's nice and fine. And I'm going to add that to a jar, bowl, whatever is easiest for you to mix everything together. To this, I'm going to take my kimchi and just some of the sort of pickling juice inside, and I'm going to add about a tablespoon or so to this.
Oh, I can already smell it.
Yeah, it is so that fermentation in terms of from a culinary side of things, aside from all the benefits, it's going to bring this really complex level of flavor that maybe on its own for some people might find it a little strong, but when it's in a dish, it really adds a level of this savoriness, or umami, or this depth of flavor that isn't as intense or as strong, but it's there and it's delicious. So experiment with different types. If the kimchi is too strong, even like a sauerkraut, or you can go towards miso paste, or fermented, even fermented drinks, and yogurt. So there's different options that you can work with.
It may be good for people who have taste changes to experiment with it, right?
Fermented foods are fantastic. Yeah. All right, so a little bit of that kimchi juice, the ginger, the garlic, and then just a little bit of olive oil here, or any oil. Just have olive oil.
I see my toy is missing.
I'm hiding it.
You're hiding it, okay. We can't get close-ups. It's the remote. I like to get close-ups, but we had a little snafu the last time.
Just in case. All right, so we have our little mixture here. So ginger, garlic. Give this back to Daniela. Daniela is a great director. Just sometimes the camera.
Does it work? Okay.
Back.
I got it back. I got the privileges back.
All right. I'm going to take half of this and put it onto my baking tray here. And the rest I'm going to save. This is going to be our dressing. Okay? So onto this baking tray, this is where we'll add whatever we're roasting. Chicken, chickpeas is what we're using today, but you can use other proteins as well. If you want to go completely plant-based, you can use chickpeas. You can even use extra firm tofu would be really good in this. I already had the chicken roasting in the oven, so that's why I don't have it here. But if you feel it needs a little bit more oil, you can give it a little bit more. But the idea is that we'll toss our ingredients with that ginger and that garlic. Now, you can season it as well if you want to add a little salt and pepper. Just keep in mind that most of your fermented foods will have salt in it. There'll be a little level of sodium in there, because that does help with the preservation. Do you mind?
Oh, cool.
Thank you.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank
Okay. We'll leave it here.
And we'll toss it. So you might need to adjust later to taste, but you might not need the salt up front right away. Okay.
You let me know when you want me to change the
Okay. Shot one. Direct.
shot one. Okay.
This will go into the oven.
I'm back. So, Jeremy, the chickpeas, did
Yes.
you mention you're using canned chickpeas?
I did. Yes. Canned
Yes.
chickpeas. Canned chickpeas, drained and rinsed, and also pat them dry because we are looking not to they're already cooked. We're not looking to cook them in the oven. We're looking to make them crunchy and crispy, like a nice little crouton, right? That will cook alongside. If you're doing it following the recipe, you're doing it with your chicken. That will cook alongside with the chicken, and they'll cook together. It'll get crispy and crunchy. It'll be fantastic. We use chicken thighs for this, so the chicken thighs are going to have a little bit more fat rendering off, which is also going to help to crisp the chickpeas even better. If you're looking for something leaner, you can definitely use a chicken breast. That would work. Or like I mentioned, tofu or another plant-based option. Okay? So
Tofu would be lovely too.
Tofu would be fantastic. So that's going to roast in the oven 30 at 400 degrees, about 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, just until the chicken's cooked all the way through. Keep an eye on the chickpeas. We want them to be nice and golden brown. While that's happening, we can combine the rest of our salad. So for the salad, and I mean, this is completely up to you. I love using cabbage. I love the purple cabbage. The color is just gorgeous. And we're going cabbage, double cabbage here. But you can use whatever you want for this.
A cabbage day. I have a huge cabbage at home now. I just know what to do with it.
I was thinking that we could do a video on different ways to use cabbage. Because
Yeah,
cabbage is such an economical vegetable, so nutritious.
So nutritious. We don't think about it that often. We kind of put it to the wayside, but yeah, lots of nutrition. And for those that don't want a lot of calories, it's high in nutrition, not so high in calories. But for those who need the calories, go for the extra, olive oils that you can add to it.
Absolutely. I'm going to cut a little bit more here, so I'm just taking off a little chunk. I'm using the whole thing. After it's washed, you can kind of use the whole thing. If you're looking for different ways to use up that head of cabbage, what I usually suggest is the outer leaves are going to be your toughest leaves. So those are better for soups and stews or cabbage rolls or anything that's going to require some cooking. And then the inner leaves, which are a little bit more tender, a little more delicate, are great for salads, slaws, that sort of thing. Okay? So I'm going to add a nice bunch of that cabbage here.
Now, if we're not so skilled with the knife like you are,
Yes.
can we use, what is it called when you just shave it along? Sort of
Mandolin, you can. Mandolin is one of the most dangerous tools in the kitchen.
More dangerous than the knife. Okay.
If you want to,
Neuropathy, there's no way you can
Forget it. Okay. So then you're back to the knife.
Yeah.
Okay. So
or what I will say, you can buy cabbage pre-shredded. It's one of the more common things that you can find in the grocery store. So if you do have challenges even gripping a knife, use pre-shredded cabbage.
Okay.
Absolutely. I will suggest one because you mentioned mandolin.
with love.
People are watching
And
at
people
home.
were talking about neuropathy.
This is
Yes.
the absolute must pair for a mandolin are these nylon cut-free gloves. Okay, you can use mandolin. You will not cut your fingers. These are great. Okay, do not use a mandolin without this.
them.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like I have to put a warning.
I meant to ask that.
I'm going to put a warning in the Daniela. Do not use mandolin.
And also the remote. My goodness. Okay.
All right, so cabbage, cucumbers, you can put carrots, onions, honestly whatever you want for the veg in here. We're going to take the rest of that minced garlic with the kimchi juice and everything, the ginger in here, and I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of rice wine vinegar. You can add other vinegar as well. We just want some acidity. You can add lime juice, you can add lemon juice, and we're going to go with 3 tablespoons of olive oil.
He never measures.
No, I'm not measuring.
I would measure.
You can measure. What I usually say is You can look at the side because they won't combine. You want a little bit more oil than your vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
If you like it a little more vinegar forward, a little more acidic, you can go half-half.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you don't like it as acidic, then you can go like 2 parts oil to 1 part of your vinegar. Okay. So I'm just gonna
that makes it easier than using the tablespoons and teaspoons.
Yeah, less mess. So what's convenient about putting it in a jar is that I can mix it up here, and if I feel like, you know what, oops, I made too much dressing, I can just put it in the fridge, and then we can use it for something else, right? So I'm gonna pour this over top, and the color from the kimchi too is just so nice.
I can actually see the mouths watering in our audience.
Then we're gonna take as much kimchi as you like, and I've done some here, and I chopped it up like really fine, and I'm going to add this as well. Again, if you just want to like dip your toes in, just add like a tablespoon or so. It's not going to be that strong, but it'll be there. It'll be present for sure. Okay, and then we'll give it a little mix. And then any other additions for flavor that you want to add, go for it. So, Daniela, if you don't mind, I have some toasted sesame seeds.
Okay.
We're going to add that in.
You want me to add that?
Right in, all
of it?
The whole thing.
Okay. There we go.
Professional pour. And then if you want to open that container, I have
I've
some
got
chopped
today, don't I?
chopped coriander, some chopped cilantro in here.
Okay.
And
all or
not
half?
all, do like about a quarter of it. Just
Okay.
a nice little sprinkle. Perfect. Beautiful. And mix that through. Like this on its own already is super colorful, really delicious. Shot two. Thank you, Daniela. And yeah, just awesome on its own. But then we're going to have our roasted chickpea and chicken. I want you to see, maybe go back to shot 2. I don't know if you can see this. The color on it is really, really nice.
Yeah.
And you can smell even like the ginger and the garlic on that as well. And just like lifting the chickpeas, you can hear how crunchy it is. This is like the perfect little kind of snack on its own. And if you are cooking it with the chicken, as I mentioned, as the chicken cooks, the fat renders off, and it helps them really, really crisp up your chickpeas.
I'm going to bring it back up.
We're going to put that in there. With the chicken, you can chop it up and add it as is. What I like to do is after I chop it up, this is just to speed things up a little bit. Don't suggest having 17 different pans to make this dish, but you chop it up and then just pop it back in the oven as it's sort of cooling down. That extra heat is going to help to really crispify the chicken. We're going to add that in. That's good for this amount. I think we're ready to serve.
So while you're doing that, I'm just going to mention, I think one of the reasons why people have been talking about fermented foods in our classes is because there's some info out there that it may be good for people for cancer risk reduction. But I wanted to share that the research, the studies that are looking at fermented food consumption, looking at it being helpful for increasing the bacteria in our gut or reducing inflammation, they're using specific amounts, right? And it's not, it differs from what we find commercially on the market. So we still have to wait for more research to know if there's an actual benefit to having the fermented foods with cancer risk reduction, but it doesn't stop you from including it to improve your gut health, as we talked about in this case, for improving the community of microbes that are living in our gut, also adding, improving the digestion of certain nutrients, making them more available. So there are still benefits, we just don't have that association with cancer risk reduction yet.
Awesome. All right. So just plated a little bit up here with the crispy
Beautiful.
chickpeas and that crispy chicken on top. I know it doesn't translate as
Do you
well.
want- yeah?
Sure. On the video,
I don't do it by myself anymore. I need you to tell me.
but the colors are
Beautiful.
pretty amazing. And that is our first.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give it a clap.